Hello everyone. Today is the class number 26. Class number 26 for your topic EMFT or subject EMFT. Okay. So today the last topic of this module, that is topic number 20. That is uniqueness theorem. Okay. Uniqueness. UNIQUENESS. Uniqueness theorem. Okay, uniqueness theorem. So write, this theorem states that any solution of a Laplace equation or Poisson's equation, any solution of Laplace equation or Poisson's equation which satisfy the same boundary condition, must be the only solution, irrespective of the method of solution, That means what? We have the Laplace equation, we have the Poisson's equation, right? Few class ago I have discussed that the Laplace equation and the Poisson's equation. Okay, so this Laplace equation and Poisson's equation have to be solved. Okay, have to be solved. So what are the equation? You can say that the Laplace equation, Poisson's equation was del Laplacian of v equals to minus rho v by epsilon naught. Okay, so you have to, by solving you will get actually v equals to question mark. Okay, this is the solution. Okay, this is the solution. Okay, so this is your Poisson's equation, and Laplace one will be del 2v equals to 0. That will be v will also have some value. Okay, so where rho v equals to 0, so at that condition will be your Laplace one. Okay, this is your Poisson, this is your Laplace. Okay, so you actually have to find the solution for v. Okay, so in order to find the solution, there are several topics, there are several methods are there, but which are out of syllabus for your case. So please ignore the exact solution. So actually you have to find the uniqueness theorem. You have to understand the uniqueness theorem, that is whatever the solution of this v, suppose we consider v1 and v2 are two solutions for v. So v equals to v1 for some values of v, it will satisfy this equation, and similarly v equals to v2 also, it will satisfy the same equation. Okay, that means it has two solutions. First, initially we are considering it has two solutions. Okay, but uniqueness theorem states that the solution is only unique. That solution, whatever of this v, will be only one solution will be available. Okay, so in order to prove this one, so you have to first write, consider a volume v bounded by some surface S, suppose the charge density rho throughout the volume, and the value of scalar potential v, on the surface. So we are taking a volume v, okay, so inside volume v and bounded by a surface. So whatever the surface of these 6 surfaces of this cube will be S. Okay, and throughout the density will be rho. So v comma S comma rho, these are things that we have taken, and scalar potential, suppose it is a small v and scalar potential is capital V. Scalar potential will be your capital V. Whatever the potential of this cube will be small v. Okay, so let there be two potentials, right? Let there be two potentials v1 and v2. Let there be two potentials v1 and v2 which satisfy the same boundary condition, as well as the Poisson's equation. Thus Thus, according to Poisson's equation, del 2 V1 equals to minus rho by epsilon naught, and del 2 V2 is equals to minus rho by epsilon naught, right? So make it equation number 1, equation number 2. Okay, so subtract 1 minus 2, del 2 V1 minus V2 equals to 0, right? Make it equation number 3. Okay, so write each solution also satisfy the boundary condition. Each solution also satisfy, so this will satisfy the Poisson's equation. Now we are satisfying the boundary condition. So each solution must also satisfy the boundary conditions, and it represented the given potentials values on the boundary values VB. So we are taking a boundary value VB. Suppose there are two systems having a common boundary. So this is your V1, this is your V2. Okay, so this common boundary, on this common boundary, the values will be VB. Okay, we are taking values will be VB. And for V1, we can write V1B equals to V2B equals to VB. Okay, so this is actually your boundary condition which are satisfying these two systems on this boundary. Okay, so therefore V1B minus V2B should be equals to 0, because from here V1B equals to VB, V2B is also VB, so V1B minus V2B should be equals to 0, because VB minus VB equals to 0, right? So make it equation number 4. Right, now from vector identity, divergence of gradient of D, or actually we are writing it in wrongly, that is divergence of V into D vector. Okay, so you are multiplying this V into D vector equals to what? So this V taking outside first, that is divergence of D, and plus D taking outside, that is the gradient of V. Okay, see, the pronouncement is very much important. So this is your divergence of scalar into vector. Okay, so that means scalar into vector means what? It will be completely a vector. So vector over this divergence will be equals to what? Will be equals to scalar, we are taking outside the scalar value first, then it will become divergence of vector. Okay, and it is gradient of scalar. Okay, and taking vector outside, taking scalar outside. Okay, here taking scalar outside, here vector scale taking outside. Okay, so this is the concept, this is the identity, one of them the identity. Okay, now write which holds, alright, so make it equation number 5. Okay, the equation 5 holds for any scalar V and any vector D vector, which holds any scalar V and for any vector D vector. Okay, so equation 5 holds for any scalar V and for any vector D vector. Okay, so now taking V equals to V1 minus V2. So this whatever the V we have written over here, so this V is taken as V1. Okay, so V can be taken as V1 minus V2, and D vector is taken as divergence of V1 minus V2. Okay, so we are taking, it is a scalar, it is a vector, because D vector we are taking, it is a vector quantity, divergence of, gradient of any, it is gradient of scalar, results vector, right? So it is a vector quantity, so can be treated as D. Okay, so now applying these two scalar and a vector in this equation. Okay, so what will be your result? by applying here. So by applying, it will be divergence of v1 minus v2 into gradient of v1 minus v2. Okay, so this is your v, this is your d. So what will be your result? V, that is v1 minus v2. V means v1 minus v2 multiplied with divergence of d. So divergence of gradient of v1 minus v2. Okay, so then add d vector, that is divergence of v or gradient of v1 minus v2 into same thing, right? Because of d means this one and gradient means here and v means v1 minus v2. So put it, so same, these two are the same, right? Okay, so now write the above equation. The above equation will now integrate throughout the volume enclosed by the boundary. The above equation now be integrate throughout the volume enclosed by the boundary surface, enclosed by the boundary surface. So now we are integrating, that is volume, integrating by volume, that is triple integration, right? So divergence of v1 minus v2 into gradient of v1 minus v2 bracket close over dv equals to, so this one and this one. Okay, so we are taking, separating these two. So v1 minus v2 into divergence of gradient of v1 minus v2 over dv, it will be triple integration plus triple integration of v1 minus v2 into divergence of v1 minus v2 into divergence of v1 minus v2 over dv. See, so this one is here and this is multiplied with this one is here. Okay, so actually you are segregating this whole part, right hand part we will segregating and omitting this bracket, right, and this addition will come in here. Okay, see, now this expression, the divergence theorem allows us, right, the divergence theorem allows us to replace the volume integral on the left hand side of the above equation. Okay, so the left hand side of the above equation. So what is the left hand side? This is the left hand side. So now only take the left hand side. So therefore applying the divergence theorem, it will become only left hand side I am taking here. Okay, will be equals to what? The closed surface integration, the closed surface integration of that same field, that is v1 minus v2 into divergence of v1 minus v2 ds, right, equals to 0. Why? Oh sorry, or equals to, right, first, then apply v1 equals to v1b, v2 equals to v2b. Why? Because at due to boundary, put the boundary values, put the boundary values, put the boundary values. Okay, so by putting the boundary values we have closed surface integration of v1b minus v2b into divergence of v1b minus v2b over ds equals to 0. So therefore triple integration of, so if it is 0, then the left hand side also be 0. So v1 minus v2 over divergence of v1 minus v2 dv equals to 0, right? So So from that equation, that is divergence of v1 minus v2 equals to 0, so it should be 0. In your equation 3, I think it is equation 3, it was equation 3, right? So according to that equation 3, it will be 0. So divergence of v1 minus v2 equals to 0. So v1 minus v2 equals to 0. So v1 equals to v2, right? So it is here proved. Now it is proved, because v1 and v2 are two different solutions, but we are after deriving it, we can see that v1 and v2 are the same thing. Okay, v1 and v2, whatever the solution, are thus identical. Okay, are the identical. So that's why we are taking over here. So this one. So this is your uniqueness theorem. So write, conclude one line. So v1 and v2 are two solutions. v1 and v2 are two solutions which have the same value, thus the previously assumed solutions are identical to each other. Thus the previously assumed solutions are identical to each other. Therefore any Poisson's or Laplace equation shows the unique solution. Okay, so this is your uniqueness theorem, and prove it. Okay, so in your examination this question is very much important. Uniqueness theorem is very much important. Okay, so next class I will give you some summarization, or I will give you a list of important topics. Okay, and please wait for that day, and please be prepared for your exam purpose. And after completing these all theories, I will move into the numerical part, and numerical part is very much important for your exam purpose. And for this subject, 70% will be theory and 30% will be your numerical part. Okay, so but this 30% is very easy, but this 70% is very tedious to achieve the same marks. Okay, so within this 30% you will get exactly 30%. Okay, so your exam will be 70, so 21 yours 21 and your 49, right? So this is your numerical part, and it will be your theory part. Okay, so within this numerical part 21 you can get exactly 21. Okay, but in this 49 part, maximally hardly will get 20, maximum hardly. Okay, so and total will be your 41, or the better student will get 45, and from that college, if you have 25, then it will be 70. Okay, so 70 means what? OEA, right? So A will be treated as your field theory marks. Okay, so wait for next day. I will give you a list of important topics. Okay, so today's class is up to this much. Thank you. Okay.